Senator Kent Conrad is a Democrat from North Dakota, also chairman of the Senate Budget Committee and a member of the Gang of Six Budget Cutters. Senator Conrad, great to have you with us tonight. And I don't know, I sort of feel positive, a little butterflies in my stomach that you all might be moving towards a deal. Are you?
I think we are. And hallelujah if we are able to do it and do it in a way that's timely. Look, we all know that it is critically important for the economy to extend the payroll tax cut. It is critically important for the economy to extend unemployment benefits. The challenge, of course, is paying for it all, and I do think we're moving closer.
And how, then, will it be paid for? Obviously, with Democrats and the president dropping this millionaire surtax as a way to pay for it, that's a major concession. And I know Republicans had put a few ways out there, some of which Democrats appeared to agree with, you know, like the mortgage lenders being charged more, perhaps even means testing Medicare. Do you think that we'll see some of those things in this and it will be fully paid for or not?
I do. I think another idea that some have floated late this afternoon was to use some of the savings on war funding as part of the offset. The Congressional Budget Office has said they'd score those savings because we will be spending less than is in their projections on war cost going forward because, of course, troops are coming home. So that might be part of a package as well. The thing that is a little disconcerting is that Republicans in the Senate don't want to vote on the plan from Republicans in the House. And apparently one reason they don't want to is because they don't have many votes in their own caucus for that plan, and perhaps part of the reason is it cuts 3 million people from unemployment assistance. So that would be a pretty tough message to send, especially at Christmas time. The 3 million Americans who don't have jobs would lose their unemployment benefits.
Let me ask you something, though, about the war funding. It seems to me, and maybe I'm being too cynical, so tell me if I am, that people are using we have more money in the budget than we need for war funding to pay for a lot of different things. We're kind of double, triple, quadruple counting that money.
Well, that certainly could happen, Erin. You're wise to be skeptical. Look, in all the groups I've been part of, the Fiscal Commission, the Group of Six, we did not use war funding as an offset for anything. But the fact is, there's about $700 billion there that is in the so-called baseline used by the Congressional Budget Office to estimate what costs will be to the government that we now know will not be expended, or at least it's highly unlikely that that money will be expended. So at least some share of that is available for offset.
All right. So let me ask you this: the Senate Republican Communications Center, sir, sent an email to our team, and they quote you in it. They're talking about this: more and more Dems, quote, for the pipeline. I've obviously talked about the Keystone pipeline. Part of it has already gone through your state. They say, and quoting you, Senator Kent Conrad, quote, "I personally think the pipeline is absolutely in the national interest." Will you vote for that pipeline, or do Republicans need to pull it out of any final deal in order to get the payroll tax done?
Look, I don't think the Keystone pipeline should stand in the way of doing things that are critically important for the economy of the United States. And I personally believe the Keystone pipeline is in the national interest if it is able to be rerouted through Nebraska so it does not threaten the Oglala aquifer. That is the critical issue. I have been assured by Republican colleagues that they have no intention of preventing the state of Nebraska from rerouting that pipeline to protect those very sensitive sources of water. And so if that's done, I don't see a reason for the Keystone pipeline to stand in the way of critically important measures for this economy.
One final question before we go, and we're going to talk about this later on the show. Some in the Senate are trying to roll back those automatic cuts. The super committee failed in making cuts. There were some automatic cuts. They want to roll some of them back. Obviously, in your role as budget chairman, and you're not running for re-election, you're in a real power position here to push through some sort of a grand bargain that would require a majority vote and not be subject to filibuster. Will you do that?
I'm trying my level best. In fact, I'm leaving here to go to a dinner with like-minded colleagues to discuss what a package might look like. So I have not given up on what I think is one of the key priorities for this country, which is to face up to our debt threat. We are borrowing 40 cents of every dollar we spend. Revenue is the lowest it's been in 60 years as a share of our national income. Spending is the highest it's been in 60 years as a share of our national income.
Yep.
Clearly, we need to act.
All right, well, thank you so much, Senator Conrad. We appreciate it.
You bet.